Welcome back to the channel, everyone. On today's video, we're going to be discussing one of my favorite Canadian dividend stocks, and that is Telus. Ticker symbol T.TO on the Canadian side. It has a forward dividend yield of 5.72%, which is very, very generous. And for those of you who don't know, Telus tends to raise their dividend twice a year. They've already done it once this year, so us shareholders can expect another raise before the end of 2023. This is a very generous yield. However, it is not the highest in the telecom sector here in Canada. That belongs to Bell, which is north of 6%. Bell and Rogers are the main competitors here, and Rogers is significantly lower as Rogers doesn't tend to increase their dividend. Telus is a good mix of growth and income, hence why I like this stock. I'm going to be talking about why I like this company going forward, but I'm also going to be fair and I'm going to be discussing why I don't like it. So one of the reasons I don't like it is the price to earnings ratio. This thing trades at ridiculous price to earnings. It always has. That's just what this company does, and there's kind of a reason for it. I don't know if it's a good reason, but Telus has spun off companies before, which is exciting. It's kind of more of what tech companies do, so I don't know. They have an AI play. It's different. It's out of the box. You know, the other telecom companies such as Bell and Rogers, they have media divisions. Those are the traditional ways telecom companies kind of invest their funds all over the place. But Telus does something different. They do something unique, and they're rewarded by the general investing community with a higher price to earnings ratio. So don't let that scare you away from it, but just know that it is high, and it is a bit of a concern to me. And you can imagine how high it was previously when this thing was trading north of $30 a share. Year to date, the stock has not done very well. It's hit the $28 plus range twice, and now we're all the way down at $25.30. And just for transparency, I do have my position set at $28.20, I believe. So I'm down a fair bit on this company. I still like it, though. It's not something that scares me out of it. I think it is sustainable. I think it has growth in the future. So it's not that big of a deal. So if you're down on this company, you know, don't fret. Don't get stressed out. It is a good company to hold in the long run, in my opinion. For those of us shareholders who have ever opened a Telus annual report, this thing is a bit infuriating. Yeah, it has the numbers that we want to look at and things like that, but half of this thing is literally kind of propaganda to say how good of a company they are, how much they invest in the communities, what they do for the environment, gender equality, pay gap equality. And like, it's good. It's just they really shove it down your throat on this. It kind of drives me nuts, to be honest with you. Maybe that's just my opinion. You guys can let me know. Maybe you guys really like to see this in your annual reports. I'm not going to dive too deeply into all the numbers for Telus. I just want to point out things that are important. Okay, so on the screen here we have the 2022 targets that management has set, and you can see that they've hit a lot of them, and that's something I appreciate because that indicates predictability. I actually do like Telus's management. They do a good job and they do what they say. That's what's important to me. And if we take a look here, we have the goals for 2023, and they want to grow revenue 11 to 14%, adjusted EBITDA 9.5 to 11%, and they want to increase free cash flow to $2 billion from the current $1.3 billion. So these are a good number. These aren't just like, we're not trying to grow 1% a year. They're putting out high but achievable numbers, and these are the type of metrics that I want to see with a company with a price to earnings that is so high. I want to see that growth, and this is what they're aiming for. Now I'm going to talk about another negative with this company, and it is serious, but there's a little bit of a caveat with it. Okay, we want to look at their long-term debt here, and we can see that it creeps up substantially here. This is a huge number for this company to ever pay off. And there's a reason for it, though, okay? So here's the caveat. The caveat is that in the telecom business, you need to spend a ton of money because you're never going to stop upgrading your infrastructure. So, I mean, they might pay down debt a little bit for a while, but it's going to keep ballooning over time. This is just the nature of the beast. They've done most of their upgrading for their 5G network currently, but what comes after 5G, guys? Whatever the next technology is, 6G, 7G, whatever they're inventing. So whenever they're done this cycle, of upgrading and spending money on capex, then they're gonna have a period of time where their money coming in is higher and higher and higher, and then boom, they need to invest in the next level of technology. So a ton of money is going to be going out, and debt is going to go higher. This isn't great in this interest rate environment that we're in because we know it keeps increasing. So hopefully with the new technology coming out, they can increase their rates to customers, and we keep playing this game over and over again. Anyways, so that's kind of the negative with this company, but that is the caveat. But I do want to talk about the positive now. Here's the good. We go on StatCan website and we can see that in 2022 we had a record high population growth. Okay, so Canada is one of the global leaders in immigration currently. A lot of people want to come here. Immigrants, refugees, everybody, bring them over, bring them over, bring them over. That's what this government wants to do right now. And, you know, there's a lot to be said about that. I won't get political. I think there's a lot of positives, though. The positive ends are, you know, the oligopolies that are in Canada, like the banking system and the telecom sector. They're going to do really well because, you know, these companies have spent a ton of money creating their network in a large country like Canada. It costs a lot of money to have service everywhere, right? So the more people coming into these areas of service, the more money all of these companies are going to make. And this is really going to benefit not only Telus, but the telecom sector in general, because really there's three big companies. So every new immigrant that comes here is going to need to sign up with one of them. So those are pretty good odds in my opinion. And Telus is you know, number one in customer service. People seem to like them. Their prices are competitive. They're definitely not the cheapest, but there's my growth case going forward. The company doesn't really need to do that much on their own. They're gonna stumble into higher profits just because of immigration, in my opinion. And that's kind of my bull case here, guys. So let me know if you love or hate this company, own it, or you think it's a sell. Either way, I'm down whatever the 9% is on my current Telus holding. I'm going to continue to hold. I've averaged down a little bit as we've gone, but I think it's a great company. There's headwinds coming up right now with the interest rates, but we'll get over it one day. So if you're a buy and hold investor, I think this is not going to be a big issue, and this is a good one to hold. All right, guys, let me know what you think about it. See you in the next one.